Today I'll be simulating 5 NBA seasons, but the starting point will be 5 years in the future. We'll learn how the current script of the league plays out, who the next face of the league is, and if a dynasty is on the horizon. We will also most likely get to see 45-year-old LeBron in action, right? Because the man is never gonna retire ever. In 2025, Luka Doncic would take home MVP as his Mavericks went on to win the title. Chris Paul hung him up while Dylan Harper would go first overall to the Magic. In 2026, Luka Doncic would take home his second MVP as the Atlanta Hawks won the title. LeBron, Russ, and Harden would all call it a career, while AJ Debinsa went first overall to Philly. In 2027, Luka Doncic won MVP number 3. The Mavs won their second ring in 3 years. Kevin Durant retired and Tyrone Stokes went first overall to Chicago. In 2028, Luka won his 4th in a row. Come on, man. The Portland Trailblazers, though, led by Cooper Flagg, popped up and won the title. A slew of legends, including Steph Curry, retired. Canadian Paul Osarui would be drafted first overall by the Spurs. Finally, in 2029, Victor would end Luka's reign of terror on the MVP award. The Blazers would go back-to-back, and Philly would grab another first overall pick, Eric Dampier Jr. See, we didn't miss much, just 5 years of NBA, but Luka, the 2K needs to chill with Luka at some point. And we picked things up ahead of the 2029-30 season, and to answer my own questions from a moment ago, Luka Doncic, obviously the face of the NBA, after winning 4 straight MVPs, we probably are entering the Victor era. To go along with his 4 MVPs, Luka took home 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, and a loss in there he snuck in. Trae Young and the Hawks beat them 1 year, but now Portland 2 years in a row. Cooper Flagg, he might be the new face, and we might be entering a dynasty. Again, what I asked a moment ago, a dynasty for the Portland Trailblazers, because Cooper, look at Scoot, 91 overall. Look at this big 3. Donovan Clingan, not sure when they drafted him. Shaden Sharp. They've got Baba Oladotin. I'm going to come across as a real casual here. I don't know much about prospects, especially this deep down the road, so just forgive me on that. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to see some new loaded rosters, including Philly. Looks like AJ's finally developed fully. He's a 95 overall to go along with Jared McCain in 92. Philly entered a rebuild. We'll see where Joel is. The Bucks are led by Jalen Green. Interesting. No Giannis. I'm taking note of that. All right. The Bulls drafted Tyrone Stokes first overall a couple years ago. Yeah, they look like they're in some trouble. I do have injuries on in this timeline. The Cavs, I haven't seen them. I don't think they even made a finals, maybe East finals. They added Jalen Brunson, a little redundant next to Donovan Mitchell. The Celtics at this point still rocking with Tatum, with Brant. Wow, so they didn't break up the Jays. They also haven't been back to the finals yet. Taj Ariza, is that Trevor Ariza's son? In my mind, it is. I don't care what you say. The Clippers, okay. The Clippers drafted VJ Edgecombe in year 1, so they obviously had a horrible season. Giannis, all right, he's aging out a bit, is Giannis, and they don't have much depth. That's too bad. The Grizzlies retained Ja Morant. They added Jalen Williams. He's not with the Thunder anymore, a team. We'll talk about them in a second. The Hawks, Liam McNeely in 90 overall, Zachary Risache, respectable in 89. Trae Young, they won a title, so it's all gravy from here. The Miami Heat now led by Asar Thompson with Tyler Hero, with Jabari Smith. Where's Bam Adebayo? They picked up Darius Garland. The Charlotte Hornets, I definitely don't know how to say his name. Maluk. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna move on. He's a 92 overall with Brandon Miller, with Dylan Mingo. They look like they could make some noise. I found Bam. He's in Utah with Sadiq White and George Costanza's son. That's just not great.
George is getting upset.
The Kings have fallen off as well. Stephen Castle, Scotty Barnes, where's Fox, where's Sabonis? I don't know. The Knicks look completely different. Darius Acuff Jr., Jaden Ivey just hit a game winner a few nights ago from when I'm recording this. That's fun. The Lakers, obviously, LeBron is gone. A. Disney still hanging on. Wow, their first 4 players are all big men. But what? The Lakers, what are you? Josh Giddey. Yeah. It looks like they picked Cameron Mercer high in the draft. Paulo Banchero is still with the Magic. They had a first overall pick. I remember I said it. Who did they? Dylan Harper. Where's he at? The Mavs, 2-time champs in this timeline. Luka's only 30. Kyrie's still effective. I mean, they could make another run. Nikola Topic, the next era. Yeah. The Brooklyn Nets, Jalen Duren, Dyson Daniels, Carter Bryant. Okay. The Nuggets, Nikola Jokic. I haven't heard much from him yet. LaMelo Ball? When did he get here? That could be interesting. The Pacers have Halliburton, Towns, Jackson, Richardson with Mathurin, Siakam. That's a solid starting five. The Pels with Trey Johnson, their new franchise centerpiece, DeJounte Murray, Caleb Wilson, Dalton Connect, the Lakers. What are you doing? The Pistons, Cade looks like he capped off at a 91 overall. Oh my, okay. Yeah, all right. Bronny James is an 86. I did not, this is 2K's official roster. They let Bronny get to an 86? That's actually insane. Grady Dick. Oh, there's De'Aaron Fox in Toronto. Rocky Sikorsky. I kind of like what the Raps are building. Whoa, Cameron Boozer was obviously the better twin. He's in Houston with Sengun still there with Amen Thompson. Houston has not won a title yet. It's their time. Speaking of it's their time, Victor just won an MVP. The Spurs. Jasper Johnson, my boy Paul, the Canadian. How is Victor not pushing them? Maybe they'll get some wins starting now. The Suns kind of look trash. Reed Shepherd ended up there. Carter Knox, Mikal Brown, a lot of young guys. Wow. And Zion Williamson nursing an injury. Yo, Zion joined Phoenix last season in our timeline. His career just has not worked. I mean, those are pretty good numbers, but yeah. OKC, oh my gosh. I was just like, they have not won a title. It's been all Dallas and Portland. How? They still have Chet with Shea. Ian Jackson, they drafted him 9th overall in 2025. He's 95 overall. Darren Peterson, they drafted 2nd overall. Into all these draft picks they've been hoarding are coming to fruition in the lottery. Will Riley, another one. Koa Pete. This is Elijah. Is that Gilbert Arenas' son? They're probably going to win the next 5 championships. In Minnesota, we see Anthony Edwards. Dylan Harper. Did they make a trade for him or a restricted free agency signing? The Trailblazers, as mentioned earlier, they've won two straight championships. They're lucky they got one in before OKC took over. The Warriors had Steph retire. They added D Book. And the Wizards, Alex Sarr, Carlton Carrington. They're my user team for no reason in particular. Maybe they make the playoffs. Altogether, this is the NBA 5 years from now. Now we've got to get to, wow, AJ Debance, the 3rd best player in the league. We've got to get to, wow, Cameron Boozer. Sorry, I'm very distracted. We got to sim another 5 seasons now. Is OKC, imagine if they don't become a dynasty. Yo, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Underdog for continuing to sponsor my channels. As you can tell from my horrible mustache, I'm recording this in November where, well, all the sports are happening. If you want to spice up watching NFL, NBA, NHL, college sports, everything, Underdog is the place to be. Daily drafts, pick'ems, all sorts of promos, always ongoing. You can get more info and my link. Use code JCAN. It's all down below in the description. My own Underdog Winnie, she very much approves of this message, okay? What is your ear doing? Oh my goodness, the face of the league is indeed Cooper Flag. 2-time champ, 2-time finals MVP, now regular season MVP. The Lakers starting a long road to a rebuild. They probably should have started 5 years ago. Cam Mercer. 6th man of the year, Mackenzie. Can't pronounce his last name from the Kings. 17-7, coming off the bench. DPOY, Victor adds it to his, I'm sure he's won a million of these. I haven't been checking. Yes, he's a 6-time defensive player of the year with 2K. Come on. Like, the real NBA would mix it up a bit. Anyways, name the award after him. Most improved is Baba in Portland. They're probably so good once again. And clutch player of the year, VJ Edgecombe for the Clippers. In 2030, the All-NBA first team, Cooper Flag, Luka Doncic still dominating. Cam Boozer, he's a little banged up. Victor and Sengun. All-NBA second, Acuff Jr., Hugo Gonzalez, Kadeen from the Hornets, Edgecombe from the Clippers, and Jokic still dominant. Third team, Ja Morant, Caleb Wilson on the Pels, Isaiah Harwell on the Pistons, Scoot Henderson, and Boogie Fland. Okay. I will quickly show all defensive teams each year. Victor leads all defensive first. Alex Sarr, all defensive second. There you go, Wizards fans. Oh my, what? In the, I'm actually the Brooklyn Nets? I looked at their, I don't remember their team sticking out. They're the best team in the East by a country mile, 64 wins. Missing the playoffs. I'm sorry, Wizards fans. You know, you had an all defensive second team member. Yeah, hold on. The Nets, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Duren, Colin Murray, this is like, I mean, it's like a balanced roster. I think all the star power in the league, I didn't pick up on it. It's all in the West, right? Yeah. The top in talent is all in the West. OKC 66 wins. Cooper Flag and the Blazers 62. The Spurs with Victor 50. Wow. This league got so lopsided. That's actually insane. Luka's a play-in team with the Mavs. The Rockets with Sengun and who else? Oh yeah, Cameron Boozer. He played enough games to be All-NBA first team. This roster right here is a play-in team in the West, yet the Nets won the East by a that's wild. And not that it matters, but yeah, the Suns, Lakers, Pels, man, Anthony Edwards, his career did not play out in this timeline. That's unfortunate for Ant and really surprising. Wow, numbers are really low across the league. Sometimes 2K be changing rules on people during my leagues. I don't know if anything's changed, like less possessions per game. Maybe numbers are just down. Maybe this is our future, but there's your top 10 in league scoring in 2030. Also, if I'm not mistaken, in league history, I'd be able to view if there were any rule changes, but I'm pretty sure I turned that off. So the low scoring numbers, it just is what it is, I guess. Oh my goodness. And just when I think I've got a handle on our future NBA, all right, OKC obviously advances. They'll be facing Denver, Nikola Jokic in round 2, but look at the bottom. Cooper Flag and the Blazers upset in 5 games in round 1 by Memphis. Memphis with Ja Morant, Jalen Williams. Actually, that is a pretty good squad. Okay, Portland, like I said earlier, at least they got their 2 rings, because I don't think they're getting any more. I wasn't planning on jumping into a round 2 game here, but it's a game 7? OKC, will they continue to choke in our new timeline? And yes, with all those 95 overalls, I am saying they're choking if they don't win a title. Okay, thankfully in a blowout. I mean, it took them 7 games. That's not inspiring, but they do hold on. We've also got a game 7 in the East. Miami's team, honestly, the entire Eastern Conference was mid. Boston has a chance with the Jays to get one more something positive in this era. And also in a blowout, less emphatic, but a 17-point win. They do survive. Our final 4 in the West, dude, Memphis is making a run. They took down Victor after taking down Cooper Flag, while in the East, Chicago and Boston? Okay, my inflection there was questioning Chicago. Doesn't matter. They get eliminated. We've got OKC. We've got Boston. I'm not going to lie. Boston looks pretty good, adding Oh, they've got the other boozer. I didn't notice that. Plus Taj Ariza. That's not bad. OKC has 395 overalls. I think they might have another one hiding on the bench too. I mean, it's not over till it's over. Boston down only 3 in this one. Under a minute left. Ian Jackson going to work for OKC gets stopped up. Some important context. Oh, you can see if you look at the bottom of the screen. This is a 3-0 series. OKC on the verge of a sweep. I figured we'd let Tatum and the boys try and cook with a historic comeback. I mean, I wouldn't want to miss this. But with the exception of the Atlanta Hawks in, what was that, 2020? But with the exception of the Atlanta Hawks in 2026 as the Thunder get a big time bucket there, I might actually say in 10 years that we simulate in this video total, we might not see another Eastern Conference team win a ring. Like, it might just be the Hawks. The West is unbelievable. A big stop by Chet on Kristaps. And that was all she wrote for Boston. Unable to win a second title in the Tatum Brown era. OKC does not go down in history as arguably the greatest team ever to not win a ring. Now, the only question is, can they win not 1, but 2 or 3 or 4? My Canadian brother Shea wins finals MVP with just an unbelievably stacked roster, but good job. With all due respect to Brad Beal, Dennis Schroeder, another Canadian Andrew Wiggins, no real heavy hitters exiting the league. In the 2030 draft, King Bako Backett goes first overall to the Lakers. I think this is going to be our last user-created draft. It's all going to be auto-generated from here. After his first ring and finals MVP, 32-year-old Shea is the best player in the league. Debansa behind him, Victor and Cameron Boozer, Chet Holmgren, 2 top 5 players in OKC. Well, might as well throw in Ian Jackson there. Yeah, they're about to run it back. Okay, Cooper Flag wins a 2nd straight MVP. Maybe I'm sleeping on Portland. Maybe they can get back, win another title. Victor wins his 7th straight Defensive Player of the Year. That's hilarious. All-NBA first team Cooper Kadeen from the Hornets. He's killing it. Debansa. Luka just holding on. The only OG on first team with VJ Edgecombe. As I fumble over names, Ja Morant, Hugo Gonzalez, Cameron Boozer. He's healthy this year. Houston about to make a run. Victor. Tyrone Stokes from the Bulls. LaMelo from Denver. Did I see Nikola Jokic? I'm not sure I did. Again in the East, it's Brooklyn as the 1 seed, although only 50 wins. I don't know who from the East is about to make a run. I have no clue. Boston's a play-in team. It's just all about the West, man. OKC finishing just ahead of Portland. What? Utah, a 3 seed. Victor, is it gonna be your year ever? Cameron Boozer with the Rockets, a play-in team. I don't love that. Ant is in the play-in. I remember laughing at the Jazz roster. Okay, old man Jalen Brunson, he is bouncing around from New York to Cleveland. He just got traded mid-season to the Jazz. Okay. Again, the future of the NBA apparently is like no 30-point a game score. It's not even close. Howard Warren, an 85 overall. I was going to say year old. That doesn't make sense. led the league, and he came off the bench. What? I'm sorry, I can't just skip through this. Howard Warren, who is the sixth best player on the Pistons, led the league in scoring. He didn't, well, maybe hold on. He didn't win Sixth Man of the Year. I mean, he started 38 games. That is an interesting one. Also interesting, look at the West again, my guy. Okay, OKC, we're going to get OKC versus Victor and the Spurs. Amazing. Memphis once again wins. Portland once again first rounded. Cooper Flag, I mean, good thing he's won 2 rings, because you know 2 straight MVP first round exits. My guy would be, what an interesting legacy he has. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot to jump in for games. I didn't realize the series went 7. That's my bad. Thankfully, game 7 was a blowout. We didn't miss much. OKC not repeating. My boy Paul Osarui, he's Canadian, so he's my boy. He carried Victor in game 7. That's wild. Our final 4 in 2031: Spurs, Grizzlies, Hawks, Pacers. Okay, Atlanta trying to win their 2nd ring in this era. It's going to take a game 7. Wow. Who is on Indiana? I guess we'll find out. I don't remember seeing they had any like legit stud. They're only in 8. They went through the play-in to make it to game 7 of the East Final. I mean, not to be a hater, but it kind of shows you how weak the Eastern Conference is in this timeline, as Atlanta drops 151 points in a win. We've got a Hawks Spurs NBA Final. Karl Anthony Towns, in this economy, the best player on the Hawks. I mean, Victor and Paul should probably walk to their first ring. Once again, it's not over until it's over, but it's game 5 and the Spurs are up 3-1 in the finals. Mikal Bridges, I did not realize he was on this team. He just missed a potential dagger. Atlanta needs a bucket right here and then missed free throws, and then they got to win 2 more games. All right, step 1 complete. The Spurs actually did miss 1 free throw. Bilal Coulibaly on the Hawks. Nawaba inside to, I don't know who that was, but that man just got stopped by the Spurs. Atlanta won a championship in 2026, made another here in 2031, but it wasn't their time to shine, as Victor finally adds to his impressive individual legacy with the title. You don't even fit on the screen, brother. Finals MVP for Victor, pretty moderate numbers, 23, 8, and 5. That's just kind of what we're experiencing now. And in case I forget to look later, Victor now a champion. He's got 1 regular season MVP. It doesn't even show it anymore, but 7 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Definitely one of the defining players of our timeline, with Luka, with Cooper Flag, I guess. We still got 2 more years to go. Wait, I mean 3 more years. I said we'd go 5 more into the future. AD finally retires. The Suns get a 1st overall pick. Okay, a 77 overall. Yeah, this auto-generated draft might not be it. Okay. All right, now there is some unrestricted free agents. Victor Wembanyama. I just finished looking at his resume. Luka is still around. What if they somehow like teamed up this dude Darren Peterson? I mean, he looks pretty good. Moment of truth. I haven't looked yet. So AJ Debnsa still with the Sixers. Cam Boozer still with the Rockets, the best 2 players in the league. Victor Wembanyama signed back with the Spurs. That's a little bit anticlimactic. Oh, but Luka, like so many washed up stars before him, signs with the New York Knicks. Now, Luka's still 93, but obviously on the decline. We'll see if he can make it happen in the Big Apple. Finally, we get a new name winning MVP in the 2032 season. Cam Boozer, 27 and 9 per game. Yeah, really good player. 6th Man of the Year. Here he is. Howard Warren, just the secret weapon for Detroit, I guess. Victor wins DPOY number 8. All-NBA first team, completely new names: Cam Boozer, Debnsa, Cooper Flag, Paul, oh, my boy, Osarui. I'm just pretending like I know his name, Tyrone Stokes. Second team, Victor, Ian Jackson from the Thunder, John Morant still kicking, Dylan Mingo, Elston Harrington. Okay, the Bulls are cooking. Tyrese on the Pacers, Cam Mercer, Keon Anthony. Oh, is that, that's Carmelo's son, right? Okay, cool. Luka on the Knicks, All-NBA third team. Congrats. The East is finally getting better. Stokes, and I can't remember the other name now. I just said it a second ago. 59 wins for the Bulls. Grady Dick leading the Raptors. Look at the Wizards, over 50 wins. Okay, maybe we'll have someone making noise in the East. The Celtics and the Hawks both miss completely. That's crazy. Over in the West, it's now the Nuggets, Clippers, Suns. What? MVP Cameron Boozer is a play-in team. All right, hold on. We got to reset some things here. From out of nowhere, we've had some teams rebuild on the fly. Denver. I mean, they didn't really rebuild. They've still got LaMelo and Jokic, but they're a 2-seed. Gene Roebuck making an impact. Malik Thomas, Walker Kessler. They brought in some young talent. The Clippers from out of nowhere. VJ Edgecombe is developing into a superstar. Giannis is like the new LeBron. He's 37 years old, still playing really well. They're a very deep team with a lot of Jarace Walker. Yeah, how do you say his name again? It doesn't matter. No, Jay, don't expose yourself as a casual. The Suns, Reed Shepherd, Keon Anthony. That's not how you spell his name, is it? I feel like I've seen his name on Twitter. Zion is finally healthy. Yeah, I guess this is a pretty balanced team. Speaking of rebuilds, the Bulls though, oh yeah, Drake Powell, Elston Harrington, Tyrone Stokes, 390 plus overalls. They should have a fourth. Will Radley though out for the season. This dude was on OKC before. Yeah, Chicago's legit. And just to show love to my Wizards fans out there, Nathan Solomon, Alex Sarr, again, they're my user team just for fun. Jaden Ivey. Hey, man, maybe they can make a run to the finals. Okay, in the Western Conference, imagine if LaMelo and Jokic make a run in Big 2032. That would be shocking. Cooper Flag and the Trailblazers finally win another playoff series. The Clippers and the Jazz advance. No victor. Over in the East, the Bulls and the Bucks, okay, makes sense. AJ Debance and the Sixers are out. Toronto and the Wizards win around. I wanted to check where the Raps are at. Jason Crow Jr. Okay, Grady Dick is just a solid leader starter. They don't have the top end talent, but they've won a round. They have not won 2 rounds, however, as the Washington Wizards hold on in Game 7. Speaking of Game 7s, we've got one. Cooper Flag, 2-time MVP on the road against Nikola Jokic, 3-time MVP. This is his chance as an old man to make a run. Wow, and I cannot buy a clutch finish in this video. I mean, it would take a miracle. Yeah, I think Portland's done. Oh man, I want to see Cooper Flag be great. I mean, he has won 2 championships as I was skimming through our 5 years into the future, but I haven't seen much from him here. LaMelo Ball almost dribbling out about what? Walker Kessler? Does he shoot threes in this timeline? He missed. Or I don't know, maybe the Skip Bayless of this timeline would make Cooper Flag the LeBron James of this timeline. Anyways, we did not have a wild comeback from the Blazers as it's Denver, Utah, Chicago, Washington. Wait a second. Did Big Brunson, did he run it back with the Jazz? Yeah, he's falling off though. Look at how many mid to high 80 overalls. Yeah, 2K gets really weird when you simulate into the future. I mean, that's just so much depth. No wonder numbers are lower on an individual basis. Wow, we have another Game 7 involving Jokic, LaMelo, and the Nuggets. Okay, I asked for it, and we finally got a clutch finish. 3-point game, just over a minute left. Jokic is tired. Wow, he just got eaten alive inside. Yeah, he just missed again. All right, Ivicic. The Jazz need a bucket. Profit's going to put up a 3. He misses. Ivicic can't get to the boards. Over to Jokic. They're letting their former MVP go to work. Nikola Jokic kicks it out. Thomas is tired, and Thomas bricks. The Utah Jazz in this timeline reunited Arkansas Razorback teammates. That's amazing. Can they find themselves a spot in the NBA Finals? It's George Costanza's son. Back to Fland, a healthy 3, and he ties it up. What a shot. Flash forward in OT, the Jazz clinging to a 1-point lead with 30 seconds left. Does Denver foul here? There is a shot clock. Nah, they're going to play defense. Boogie Fland hit the biggest shot of this video to send it to overtime. Fland going to operate off this pick and roll. Denver not gonna step up on him. That was a brilliant look. He should have made that. And there's 1.3 seconds left. Imagine if Denver came out and hit a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, he missed it. I don't know what Thomas that is. That was an elbow jumper, my guy. Unbelievable that Denver isn't in the NBA Finals right now. It's Utah led by Boogie Fland and Zonomir Ivicic off the bench. Still don't know if that's how you say his first name. Chicago on the other side. Yeah, 390 pluses in their backcourt. And I kind of feel like we saw this coming. It was a good run from the Jazz. Hey, look, it's another team from the East. The Chicago Bulls winning the 2032 NBA championship. Tyrone Stokes was the first overall pick way back in, what was that, 2025 or 26? It doesn't matter. Finals MVP. He finally comes through in his career. Oh, big retirement for Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. This is like the first time I'm saying his name this video. Joel ended his career. Oh, he fell off. Oh my word. 73 overall. That's crazy. That's great. So he was with Philly this whole time. I just didn't see him because his overall was so low. Wow, that's really tough. I'm sorry, Joel. After a run of dominance from Luka and the Mavs, Cooper Flag and the Blazers, we've now had 3 different NBA champions in the last 3 seasons. How do we finish out in our last 2? Oh my goodness, Paul Osarui. That's what I'm going with, the pronunciation. He wins MVP. Sure, he was a first overall pick. That's crazy. I did not see that coming. Surely this is Victor and the Spurs year to get get their second ring. It would be 2 in 3 years. It would be the makings, the beginning of a dynasty, potentially. Speaking of dynasties, OKC never able to build one. That is just shocking. They get first rounded by Vic and the boys. And by the way, I mean, OKC with Shea, Chet, 92, Ian Jackson, almost every team in the league is stacked now, but with that big four, only an 8 seed anyways. Oh baby, in the West, we've got a heavyweight duo. The West Finals looks legit, man. The Spurs did advance. They added Darius Garland to their team, but the Clippers, Devin Booker is now there with BJ Edgecombe. I mean, again, every team looks loaded, but it's gonna be the Spurs advancing to take on Philly, no longer with Joel Embiid. Wait a minute. Oh, after being drafted first overall, I think in 2026, AJ Debinsa, a 97 overall, has finally led the Sixers. Oh yeah, Eric Dampier Jr. was also a first overall pick, and they go up 3-1 on Victor, Paul, and the Spurs. I don't think they're getting their second in 3 seasons. Well, hold on just a second. It's now a 3-2 series, 2 wins in a row for the Spurs. They can do that with all that talent. Yep, a 6-point win in game. I'm sorry, Philly. I completely reverse jinxed you there. It's now game 7 back in San Antonio. AJ, Eric Dampier Jr. I'm kind of rooting for you now. I don't want to see a choke. And we won't. I mean, the fact that this went to 7 is kind of shocking, but DiVincenzo, one more bucket at the rim. Okay, he got fouled. Is that JJ Redick coaching Philly? That's so funny. I obviously haven't been following where coaches go. JJ Redick back in Philly, where once he shined on the court, his Sixers are going to hold on after narrowly almost giving up a 3-1 series lead. Victor denied of his second ring, a new champion for a 4th straight season. We love to see it for the content. Good job, Philly. DiVincenzo with the finals MVP, a dominant season. And into our 5th and final season of this era simulation, Cameron Mercer, once upon a time a Laker, winning MVP for the Nuggets. We've got a rematch in the West Finals. Spurs, Clippers. Will Victor and Paul make it to the finals again? Toronto, Brooklyn in the East. And indeed, Victor and the Spurs have a chance at their second ring in this era. They'll be taking on the Brooklyn Nets in the 2034 NBA Finals. I don't recognize anybody. Oh, wait a minute. Franz Wagner's there on the Brooklyn Nets. That is a pretty weak squad, I'm not gonna lie. And the San Antonio Spurs, after winning in 2031, get their second ring of this era. Victor adds to his ginormous, just massive trophy case of individual accolades with another Finals MVP. And just like that, we're at the beginning of the 2034-35 NBA season, a full decade from this moment we're in right now. Cameron Boozer, now for the Bucks, the best player in the NBA. Jackson Richardson, Cameron Mercer, the MVP. Victor, one of the only familiar names still up here at a 96 overall. Debinsa, Edgecombe. There's Chet Holmgren, the disappointing OKC Thunder. After Luka's run of dominance ended on the MVP award, we had a few different winners. Victor, a couple there for Cooper Flag, Boozer, Osarui, Cameron Mercer. Yeah. Well, the championships, I mean, very evenly distributed. You had 2 for the Blazers, 2 for the Spurs, but no real dynasty emerged in the last decade. That's all right. I don't mind that. Oh, and I forgot to record this. I'm literally showing you on my phone. Victor Wembanyama won 10 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards. Yeah, he would have an interesting GOAT conversation in this timeline. Anyways, let me know what you thought of this video. That took a while, but we made it through a decade. Be pretty interesting if this is how things turned out. Let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you're new.